we were going on a family trip to Hawaii. And before we, planned anything, I asked the kids, like, hey, what do you guys want to do? What's important to you? How do you want to spend this time? And they were like, we want to have as much time as the beach. We want to stay at a resort. We want to make sure that we can be in the sand, right? We want to go in the ocean. We want to go in the pool, right? So then I was doing some research and I found some other things. So I said, hey, would you guys like to do, this, and this? And they were like, we would love to do this tubing through the mountain thing, but we don't want to do anything else. I was like, okay, great. That makes my job that much easier. When we got there by day 3, my daughter was like, I'm bored. I hate this. What else do you have planned for us? I was like, but I sent you guys the plan. And she was like, well, the plan kind of is terrible. So, like, why didn't you ask us ahead of time what we wanted to do? And why didn't you plan this better? And why weren't you doing a better job of planning this vacation? So I was like, well, okay, like, what can I do now to help you? And she's like, well, you should plan things. And I was like, okay, how about this? How about this? How about this? No, 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 no. And she's like, you did a terrible job planning this vacation. And I was like, well, we're at this resort. You guys can be empowered to go do whatever you want. You can do any of the activities here. Well, that's just bad parenting, Mom, is how it kind of ended. While
Oh,
we were in Hawaii. And I was like, ungrateful.
oh my goodness. Here you are, not only like rock star, wanting everyone to have a good time, planning far in advance, checking all the boxes of being, is this going to work for you? Is that going to work for you? Doing all the things, booking all of it. And then when it turns out it doesn't work, you're trying to adjust and continue to come up with new strategies. And your daughter is not budging, not acknowledging, not seeing your efforts either before or after, claiming no responsibility, not acknowledging anything about her part in what is going on. That
Exactly.
sounds so no gratitude, no appreciation. Whew. Wow. Hmm.
Monsters.
Okay. Okay. So this is the point, though, at which I want to check with you. Do you feel like you've been seen and acknowledged for the totality of what you experienced by me? And
Yes.
are you
Thank
feeling
you for
it?
that. Yes. Very much so.
Okay. Now, I completely understand why you would be attached to the strategy. I'm going to guess what strategy you're attached to. You're going to correct me on it if I'm wrong. I could completely understand why you would be attached to the strategy of, I want my kids to enjoy the activities that I propose to them. And that they agreed to. And if they don't, I want them to take responsibility for figuring out other things to do. Is
Yes.
that the strategy you're
That's
currently
the
attached
strategy.
to?
Yep. Yep.
Great. And I could imagine, and Liz, everyone, Jeanne is attached to this strategy. She's attached to it like a barnacle stuck to a boat, right? Wouldn't you
Absolutely.
be? Okay, but if we keep our barnacles stuck to the boat, we are not in Rumi's field. There is no way. And if she starts arguing with her kid and trying to get Ace to release her barnacle, and now we've got big, big conflict. Everyone trying to convince each other, no, you release your barnacle. No, you release your barnacle. And we're just tugging at each other's barnacles, and none of our energy is going into creative problem solving. Yikes. So, if we just let go, we're in a place where there is no right, there is no wrong, there is no good, there is no bad, there is just you, this challenge that you experienced. You're joining me in the field. Of course, you're longing for acknowledgement. Of course, you're longing to be effective in your planning. Of course, all of these things. Deep breath. Do you have enough empathy to consider a different strategy for getting those needs for acknowledgement and effectiveness met?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, great. So before we figure out what that new strategy is, what we're aiming for is we want to meet your needs and we want to meet ACE's needs. So we need to try to figure out what ACE's needs might be. And to do that, it might be helpful, I think, actually, for us to think about what strategy is she attached to. The strategy that I'm thinking she's attached to is I want my mom to make perfect decisions about for me all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Okay. Great. Why don't we then, since now I think I have a pretty good picture, and how old is Ace? So people know.
16.
16? Okay, great. So I'm now stepping in. I'm going to be Jeanne, mom, and Jeanne is going to be her daughter, Ace, who's 16 years old. Okay. Ace, I am hearing how frustrated you are with what we're doing right now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you're feeling disappointed because on this special time together, you want it to be, you want to be having so much sense of fun and connection and trust with me, your particularly your mom, and that there's this some way where your expectations aren't matching up with what's happening for you, that it's really hard for you to take. Is that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how often are we going to be in Hawaii? Why aren't there more things for us to do here? I want to have better memories. I want to know that we, did everything that we could possibly do here, Mom.
Because this is a special rare time. We're so busy other places. And it sounds like, since you are 16, you're going to be out of the house soon. Creating these special memories and family time is really important to you, and you're not feeling like there's special time right now.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling like everything's very boring. We never see Eloise. She's in her room all the time. I'm just hanging out with Reese and Aiden. So yeah, and Eloise will be leaving soon. And we're not doing anything other than just going to the beach every day and playing in the pool every day. And there's not that much to do.
And does Eloise not like the beach?
No, she's doing her college applications and she's really busy and she just doesn't have the time to hang out with us.
Got it. So, in addition, you're frustrated, it sounds like, because you really wanted to be having time with Eloise, and it seems impossible right now because she's got these college applications going on.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a family vacation.
Right, and circumstances are making it really hard for her to be a full part of this family. Okay, so I have a question for you because it seems to me there are a couple of things going on. I mean, we can try to come up with some other activities, but I'm not getting that that's going to meet your need for connection with Eloise.
Well, that's true. She did the tubing trip with us. So do you think maybe if we came up with something else that she might like tubing, she might do it with us?
Got it. So what you're thinking is that if it's clear that like just hanging out at the hotel, it's super easy for her. And oh my gosh, I'm also guessing that it's hard if she's at the hotel, she's feeling so guilty. Like, how can she possibly enjoy being at the pool when her computer is there in the room and she has the pressure. So that's why you're wanting us to get out of the hotel. And there was absolutely no way you could have anticipated that was going on before. So that's, I'm totally getting that when I originally proposed whether we wanted to do these activities, you were thinking, wow, we're so busy all year. Let's just chill out, not anticipating that Eloise, that would mean Eloise would be out of the picture. So
Yeah.
that makes now so much sense to me, your frustration about that. Okay, great. So I have an idea. Well, I know I want to maximize Eloise's time working on stuff. What do you think she might like to do that you also want to do? Can we brainstorm a list and then present it to her?
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea, right? Since she liked the tubing thing so much, maybe there's something else like that that's a little bit farther away that we could all do together.
Great. And that lets her off the hook from feeling the pressure.
Exactly.
Brilliant, Ace. Brilliant. Okay. Um, could I check with you about the impact of this conversation on me, your mom? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So it was hard for me to hear you call me a bad parent. Because I really wanted to be seen and acknowledged for the fact that I did try to have this go well. So I'm wondering, um, could you, because it'd mean a lot to me in terms of feeling seen, would you be willing to share a few things that I have done in the last week that you're appreciating about me that have contributed to your fun and well-being?
Oh, mom, I love you so much. You're my best friend. I loved the tubing trip that you planned. I loved all the effort that you put into the dinners that we went out to so far. And I really am glad that we're here and you picked such a great hotel for us to stay at.
Thank you. That means a lot to hear. I really like being seen for all of that. Great. How was that for you, Jean?
I loved that. That felt really good. I felt like I had a lot more empathy for Ace. I had totally forgotten about the Eloise thing, but when I stepped into Ace's shoes, it really reminded me of everything that was going on that trip and how she was feeling so disconnected from everybody.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what happens once you get the empathy you need. You can get a lot more creative and have more imagination about what was actually happening for the other person. Your barnacle loosened, and then you could invite her to loosen her barnacle, and then we come up with something that's going to be much more meaningful for everybody.
I loved it.
Thank you so much. It was really generous of you. And I want to also thank Ace, who gave us permission to use this story.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Ace.